Okay, friends, I wanted to give a very, very real update. So for me, this relates to complex PTSD, early childhood abuse that was long-term and inescapable, self-censorship, things of that nature. So I allowed myself to speak freely the past 2 days, the past 2 videos. I am extremely proud of. Extremely proud of. And I've also come to know that for every turn of authentic self-expression, for me, with my complex PTSD, there is an equal and opposite, if not worse, retaliatory swing, saying you should have not said that. God knows you should not have said that publicly, not on YouTube. And you shouldn't have been proud of it. So I am fully in my complex PTSD reactive stage of knowing full well I said what is in my heart, what is in my soul, what I believe in, what I would teach my children if I had any. And it's dangerous. Because I'm not telling myself, my theoretical children, or anyone else to just go along with whatever's happening in your world. And again, I'm a novice in terms of free speech and free speech theory. I'm a novice. I don't know what I'm talking about. Except that I know that I do, intuitively. And so I let myself speak about these things. And the fear. The fear that comes after. Because you have to ask, who are you tamping down within yourself, saying, don't speak freely? You can say it's an inner child that is narcissistic and can't take the perspective of other. Basically, it's saying you feel and know something wrong and you should not say it out loud. And as someone who has experienced very early childhood trauma and complex PTSD, I fight against that narrative or I die. Literally. Because it is that black or white. One of us was right and one of us was wrong. In the most deepest and purest and most fundamental sense. And as a very small child, if I'm wrong, I will end my life. For sure. So this idea of who's right and who's wrong, and who has the freedom to say what actually happened in public, is not a minor detail. It is the battlefield of the right to life itself. So I feel multiple impulses sharing this. One of them is, I'm sorry, this is messy, this is difficult, this is impossible, this is based in abuse and in the kind of things that you think that adults would never, ever, 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 ever do to a child. They do. And some of them love it. They love the domination of someone smaller who can't ultimately fight back. So whatever this YouTube channel is, I'm trying to be honest. And I'm a person with pretty vast multitudes within myself. And I believe not only are those multitudes valid, but they can touch and move other people in this world. To acknowledge and say, yes, I feel these things, similar things in myself. They are valid. They are truthful. They are worthy of expression. Thank you, Colin, for being willing to do it in public. Which to me feels incredibly, not exactly cowardly, but I'm in Denver, in Colorado, in the United States of America. All my internal repressive barriers are truly internal. Whereas so many others really could be cultural and governmental, saying, you don't say that kind of thing out loud. I am astonishingly proud of what not only I have said, but have actually published out loud on YouTube in the past 2 days. And there was a part of me that is beyond petrified. And that part of me, a child part of me for sure, says, how dare you go against anyone who has power? You will die. And based on my childhood experience, that voice in me is not wrong. So I feel this video is of value, because even though I am relatively sheltered in the United States of America, in Colorado, relatively free to say what I have to say, but within the context of complex PTSD, my self-censorship can be close to unmanageable. And for whatever reason, I do always think of Avicii, the EDM artist. I think his name was Tim Bergson. I know his name was Tim. Millions and millions and millions of money in the world. And ultimately decided he didn't want to be here. I want to be here. And I want to help those in this world who are struggling. Not only to assert their right to exist through anger, although I definitely support that, but to find joy and freedom of expression. Thank you for being with me here today. It's very hard to suffer this much in public, but honestly, it's worse to suffer this much and to have nobody know. Because I'm absolutely certain I'm not alone, and I'm absolutely certain there are those who are suffering so much more than me. I love you. I want you to be free to speak. And fuck totalitarianism in whatever form. I love you and I want you to be free to speak. Even if that freedom to speak is fuck Israel, fuck Netanyahu. I would rather, and I do not love Netanyahu. Jesus fucking Christ. God damn, no. But I want you to have that voice. That freedom to speak. God. I don't know who I'm trying to be on YouTube in this public space, in this space which is ultimately global. But I am trying to be truthful. And if you like who I am in my being truthful, that's great. And if you don't, that's basically just as good. Bad things will happen when we do not speak to each other about what is in our hearts. Other people will take advantage. They will take power. They will do things that are worse. So as bad as it may feel to say, I feel this way, I feel this way, and to argue, to meet each other in conversation, as bad as that might feel, if we don't do that, much worse things either will happen or are happening or have been happening for decades. I love you. I'll see you soon.